I'm Corey Nichols.
And I'm Tammy Nichols, and we have Odessa Winery in Wapello, Iowa.
We started the business approximately 6 years ago with the initial planning of 1¼ acres of vines. Initially what we wanted was just a little supplemental income, but we had such a small acreage, we wanted to just do something we could walk out and enjoy. We explored other opportunities or other businesses, Christmas trees, say orchard or something like that. But initially we just wanted to sell the grapes, and that was as far as we were going to go. We did research ahead of time. I actually attended classes through Des Moines Area Community College in both winemaking and viticulture. In March we'll transition into the pruning phase, where we'll prune the vineyard. After we're done pruning the vineyard, we'll start with our spray program, and that'll go on till a certain interval depending on the spray you're doing, utilizing, and the volume of rain you get. That'll terminate some time frame before harvest. And so then you're in kind of just a watch and see and a ripening, testing constantly to see where your grapes are, and then you'll transition about middle of August to middle of September into your harvest phase at that point in time. When I was a teenager, that's what I did. I worked on my aunt and uncle's farm. They grew all sorts of row crops as well as truck farming. They grew tomatoes, watermelon, cantaloupe, peppers, and things like that. So I could have actually done that the rest of my life. I enjoyed it that much. So once we bought this small property and come out here, we did want to do something with the land, and something that different. You know, we could have rented this out for a pasture, and we did have that for a while, and we could have rented it for row crops, but we kind of wanted to do something a little different. You're taking that vine and you're sculpting that vine into something that's going to produce a good quality product, and it's something you have to keep after. You have to keep on top of it. It's not unlike a dairy farm. You really can't let anything go. If you let anything go 3 days, you're way behind for the rest of the year. So you've got to stay on top of everything. But it's fun. And I can step out and walk 50 feet and I'm at work. Mm-hmm. That's kind of nice. I do the winemaking, and then we share the vineyard work together. And then she does a lot of the bookkeeping and the marketing, and then of course the vineyard work as well. So.
Our customers are Iowa mainly. We've had quite a few actually from out of state, either related to family or just driving through. Iowa Wine and Beer has a promotional book that we are in that also. So a lot of people will look at that book and then come here. A lot of people in the summertime are just out vacationing and will drive by and see the sign and stop by. Yeah, we are in maybe 7 other different
venues.
Yes. In the surrounding area here. Come March, April, the farmers markets start to kick in, and you try to get into those as much as you possibly can. Towards summertime, it's more tastings. You're out there at different tastings, at different events. Fall and the winter months are very busy with tasting events, things like that. And during that whole time, you're out there trying to get your product into different stores, different venues.
We also have an association we belong to in the state of Iowa, the Iowa Wine Growers Association, and actually everybody works together as a unit to market the product. We're not in direct competition with any of the other wineries. Really, it's a destination for people to go. If you can do regional wine trails, it's great. If you get into more wine trails, the more customers you bring in, the greater variety you've had. We also have consulted with various members of Illinois' Wine Association, Indiana's Wine Association. I've talked through various projects with fellow that works out in Lodi region of California about their wine production out there.
My family and his family both will come and help with the harvest, and we've had them here to help with wine tastings when we have to be away. Yeah, they're very, very much involved in everything.
You talked about the wine industry being great for the graphic design industry.
Yes.
The wine labels are designed by her sister.
Right.
Basically in trade for just a little bit of wine, nothing much more than that. So that's been a godsend. And my family is from here, but we wanted to keep it so we kind of drew everybody into it, make them feel like, okay, this is something of ours in Loiza County. Everybody can think, well, it's pretty cool. We got a winery in Loyola County now, and then of course it's named Odessa Vineyards. Well, they know where it's at now. Everybody in the county should know where it's at if it's named Odessa Vineyards. It's going to be somewhere close anyway. And then, like I said earlier, we looked into various names of the products. So that's what we've been trying to do. Two Rivers Rosé. We're in between the two confluence of the Iowa River and the Mississippi River, so we named it accordingly. We thought about something that had to do with the old history of the Indians and things like that. So that's various names that we come up as we come up with new wines. We'll do something that has historical or geographical reference.
I like that when I'm at work, I do one thing, okay? I come home from work and you get lost in this. When you're out in the vineyard, it's like a time warp. You're out there, you're busy, time flies, but you're doing something different than the drudgery of my other job, Meeting new people from everywhere, is just awesome. It's just a blast. Because most people, when they come in here to taste, they're here for a good half hour to an hour at a time. So you get to know them pretty well. And then when you see them come back in, it's awesome. It's just like, wow, they came back to buy our wines.
Oh, in 5 years, we want to make a lot more money than we make now. Just at the point where we've got a good base of people that keep coming back to us, and we, I guess so that we're not out there having to market continuously, we can just go find new venues, but we know we're doing okay at the start of the year.
We've only been open for a year and a half. We've got a long ways to go yet to reach that comfortable zone, I think. Yeah.
We're fledgling. We're learning.
Yep.
The winery itself is a lot of upfront capital, much upfront capital, and you get to thinking, oh my, I could be putting all this away. I could be in the Cayman Islands right now or something, rather than be out here. So yeah, it's a risk and it's frightening. But then you make it the next month, and then you make it the next 6 months, and then you get the harvest next year, and the harvest goes okay, and they think, okay, it's not so bad. And it's getting to the point where you're putting maybe less and less of that hard-earned cash from your pocket, and the business is becoming more self-sustaining.
Yeah.
So the first thing you do is you do want to come up with a business plan. There's got to be target what you want to do, and then you've got to set goals along the way that get you there. You don't want to look down the road and see that so far off that you'll never get there. If you set short-term goals and targets, then it makes the journey a whole lot easier. But in the process of doing that, you need to be very, very, very organized. Keep track of everything.
Don't expect a lot at first. You got to get out there, you got to get your name out there, you got to show people that you have a business. You have to promote your product, and don't expect big returns right away. With as much as we've spent on the bottles, the tanks, all the equipment, just fixing up the winery itself, it'll probably take us a good 10 years to reap any profit.
Pay attention to detail and make a good product. If you have a good product to sell, it'll sell itself.
Yep.
If we get people to come back and come in here and have a blast and stand around here and talk to us for an hour and a half and then pass on and say, hey, they have a great product there and they're good people, that's success.